fine fellows we are. I'm happy that my wife could be here to hear what a fine fellow I just wish my wife's mother could be here to hear what I want to start off and say how lucky, how fortunate you folks are to be in a community like this. Bruce and I, my older friend here, visit a lot of schools around the country. And honest to God, the way we've been treated, the preparation, the excellence that we've seen in this school district and this school, I don't think we found it any better anywhere. And as is always the case, it's, all right, I'm talking. As is always the case, it's a function of leadership. There's no question that you have great leadership, and we're just excited to be here. I know you're excited to see me, the greatest helicopter pilot that ever lived, and the second greatest helicopter pilot that ever lived. You get them both in the same place. But many years ago...
Is it hot? Don't pay any attention to that.
The Medal of Honor Society, you talk about character, and you talk about courage, and you talk about sacrifice, and you talk about patriotism, and all those great things. Character is what we're really about. The character development program of the Medal of Honor Society. Character, of course, is defined, they say it's who you are when nobody else is around. But character really is the you that God knows. That's who you really are. And that's the thing that we want to work on. They say that many of us, if we could live our lives over again, might do things differently. I know that if I'm not the man I would have liked to have been. We can't live it over for ourselves, but we can live our lives over again for young people. And so that we can teach young people to go around some of the obstacles that we stumbled over. And I always tell the story that I really screwed something up bad one time. And I was feeling terrible about it. And my boss says, "Pat, don't feel bad. Nobody is a total failure. They can always serve as a bad example." So we are here, kind of, especially him, as bad examples, and we want to define for you folks some of these through vignettes. You've heard of the First Tee program, where golfers, professional golfers, are used to teach young people integrity, things that are essential to the game of golf. We're here to teach young people things that this medal symbolizes: courage, sacrifice, patriotism, and things like that. Have you got anything intelligent to say?
Well, aside from your not realizing who was the best helicopter pilot, everything you said I agree with. The greatest thing that happened to all of you young folks is either being born here as an American or being brought here as an American. And being in a community like this is tremendous. We're really proud of what we've seen. And when as you grow up, you're going to be our leaders, and you're going to be setting the example for our country. In front of you, students are the people you should have as heroes. These police officers and the firemen and the teachers and the staff and the school board, and all of those people serve the community and serve you and are willing to do the best that they can to make your life better. And it's your responsibility to do the things that are necessary for you to be better. I was not a good example all of my life. My best years were after I got married. My wife started straightening me out. A lot of you know that experience. If you're older. I'm a very proud father of 3 sons. My wife and I were married for 54 years before I lost her. The boys all have master's degrees or better. They were all Eagle Scouts. And we lived in 53 different homes. And that was really in 44 years because my wife and I had the same house for 10 years after I retired. You're going to find, all of you young folks are going to find that you're going to have more than one career. Your career right now is students, but in life you'll have different careers. And be prepared to realize that your most important career will be your family.
America has no kings or queens, no dukes or duchesses, but as I look out there, I see some folks who are the real nobility in America. We do have a nobility, and America's nobility is called veterans. And if it weren't for them, we would not have freedom, justice, anything, anywhere in this country. So remember that. The veterans are so very important to you, and to our country. But the whole purpose of this character development program of the Congressional Medal of Honor Society is to help people to realize that combat has nothing to do with being a hero. That we want all young people to grow up and to be heroes. We get honored to death because of some of the things that we have done, but it's the moral courage. The courage of your teachers, your policemen. It's the moral courage. Physical courage can win a ball game, physical courage can win a battle, but moral courage will change the world. And so we start by talking to young people, I do, about the one way in which we are all born equal. Certainly not in terms of ability, certainly not in terms of opportunity. You look around, you see people smarter, bigger, faster, stronger than you are, better looking. You say, I'm so much better looking than Bruce. And you see people who were given greater opportunity than you were. But in the one way that really counts, we are all born equal. And that's in terms of courage. Each of us can have all the courage we want. You just can't use it up. And courage is the great equalizer in life. It creates great people from people who did not have great ability or who were not given great opportunity. They had courage, and that's the one way in which we are all born equal. Now, what's the source of courage? And people wonder and ask us about that. For me, the source of courage was faith. It was the only thing that I've ever been able to articulate to explain the things that I've seen people do in combat and in the drill of daily duty, trying to do what's right in the everyday challenges that we have, the conflicts that we have between our passions, our desires, and those wonderful things called our ideals. Now, I can explain my faith. I wouldn't try and do it for anybody else, but somehow it's tied to the fact that there's something beyond, someone above and beyond a particular moment. Something worth living for and something worth dying for. And that's what motivated many of us. I've never known anybody with enduring, repetitive courage who was not also a person of faith. A patriot is not a person who says they love their country. A patriot is someone who proves their love by supporting and defending their country. Support and defend are the two key issues. And I think this was brought home to me more strongly than anything I've seen in battle or anything anywhere than by the example of a great friend of mine, great black soldier, big powerful guy named Webster Anderson. Webster Anderson was in charge of a detachment of artillerymen on a hill in Vietnam in the middle of a tropical storm. And his position was overrun by the enemy. And in the initial onslaught, they pretty much took off both of Webster's legs. Still, he fought on. Later on, in another attack, they threw a hand grenade into his position. Webster caught the hand grenade, and when he was trying to throw it away from his men, it pretty much took off his arm. I flew in later that evening to pick up what was left of Webster and the rest of the wounded there. I got him to the hospital, and remarkably, they were able to save his life. But they didn't save his legs, nor did they save one of his arms. Now, Webster and I became very close. He thought I saved his life. Truth was that the physicians were the ones who saved his life. So we would go to gatherings like this, like the classrooms. Webster, the prosthesis they had in those days were not like the ones today, which are truly remarkable. And he could still stand. He was such a powerful man. And he had a cane on the end of his no arm. And he insisted, rather than sitting, to stand up. So we'd prop him up there and we'd go talk to the kids. And one of the kids in one of the audiences one day looked at this great man and said, Mr. Anderson, knowing what you know now, that it would cost you 2 legs and an arm, would you do that over again? And Webster looks at the kid and he says, young man, I've only got 1 arm left, but my country can have it any time they want.